Chapter 5 Constitution of India. Let's know. Indian Constitution, Fundamental Rights and Duties, Basic Features of Democratic Form of Government, Importance of Elections, Responsibilities of a Citizen. Indian Constitution. Many years ago, we were ruled by British who came to India as traders and settled in our country as rulers. They forced their ways of thinking and working upon the Indians. They made them slaves and made them work at lower positions in offices. The Indians hated it. They rebelled against the British rule. After a long struggle, Indians regained their independence on August 15, 1947. We formed our own government. Some rules were required to rule the country. The prominent and learned leaders of India discussed and formed a set of rules to govern the country. This set of rules is called the Constitution of India. It defines the goals, duties and rights of the people. Our constitution was enforced on 26 January 1950. Our constitution begins with the preamble. The preamble is the introduction to the constitution. It highlights some basic guiding principles that need to be followed by the leaders of the nation to run to government. The preamble describes India as a sovereign, socialist, secular and democratic republic. Let us understand the meaning of these terms. Sovereign. It means that only the citizen of India can decide what to do in their country or how they want the country to be run. No foreign country has a right to interfere with the decisions made by the citizens of India. Factopedia. Bhimrao Ambedkar drafted our constitution. It took 3 years to be drafted completely. Socialist. Socialist means all the citizens will earn and share the wealth of the country. Everyone's basic needs shall be fulfilled without any differentiation of caste or community. Secular. People of all religions are free to live and follow their own religious practices. All religions shall be respected equally. Religion is not taught as subject to any school, nor is there an official religion. Democracy. India is a democratic country. In a democracy, the citizens vote to choose or elect their leaders to form the government. If people are not happy with their elected leaders, they can remove them from power and elect new leaders. In some words, democracy means rule by the people. Every Indian citizen above the age of 18 has a right to vote. Republic. In a republic, the chosen or elected leaders select a head of the government. Our elected leaders elect our president, who is the head of our government. A republic is not governed by any king, queen or sultan. Republic means rule by the elected officials. Fundamental rights. The Constitution of India assures some basic rights to all citizens regardless of their caste, religion, gender or color. Fundamental rights let people live peacefully in harmony with each other. The 6 fundamental rights enjoyed by all Indians are: right to equality. All Indians are treated equally by the government of India and the law. Right to freedom. We can express our opinions without fear. We can travel to all parts of the country and we can join the profession of our choice. Right to freedom of religion. We are free to follow our religion. Right to culture and education. Right to culture gives people the right to follow their lifestyle, and the right to education gives right to every child under the age of 14 to have education. Right to constitutional remedies. No one can stop us from exercising our fundamental rights. If someone does so, we have the right to go to a court and get legal help. As we know, rights and duties go hand in hand. We have some fundamental duties towards the country the society and fellow citizens. The fundamental duties mentioned in the Constitution are: we must respect our Constitution and follow the rules laid down by Constitution. We must respect our national flag, national anthem and national emblem. We must cooperate with the government in keeping peace in the country. We must not damage the national property. We must not cause harm to the environment. We must respect the religions of others. We must respect the rights of others. Directive principles. Not only the citizens, the Constitution has also laid down some guidelines or instructions for the states to follow for the welfare of the people. These are called the directive principles. If the states do not follow the directive principles and it harms a citizen, then he or she can seek legal help. Some of these directive principles are: the state government shall provide decent living conditions to all citizens. The state government shall make sure that everyone gets proper employment. The state government shall provide free and compulsory education to all children below the age of 14. The state government shall ensure that no one becomes rich by exploiting others. The state government shall do everything possible to improve the conditions of the weaker sections of the society, especially those belonging to scheduled tribes and scheduled castes. Case study: Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan or SSA is an Indian government program to provide free and compulsory education to children between the ages of 6 to 14 as a fundamental right. This program was pioneered by the former Indian Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee. It has been operational since 2000 to 2001. It aims at providing an opportunity for improving human capabilities to all children through provision of community-owned quality education. It bridges the social, regional and gender gaps with active participation of community in management of school. It helps the children to develop their potential both spiritually and materially. Padhe Bharat, Badhe Bharat is a sub-program of SSA. It improves the early reading, writing and early mathematics programs for children in classes 1 and 2. SSA helps in opening new schools, alternative schooling facilities, construction of schools, additional classrooms, toilets, drinking water, providing regular teachers, free textbooks, uniforms, etc. Basic features of democracy. The basic features of democracy are: democratic government gives power to people to elect their government, control it, and remove it from power. People elect their representatives through periodic elections and make sure that all sections of the society have a say in the functioning of the government. People can voice their opinions and put forth their problems that need to be resolved through freedom of speech. There is no monopoly of power by any person or party. People are free to hold meetings, hold discussions, or to organize peaceful demonstrations. There is division of power in the state to prevent one organization from becoming the most powerful. The government's policies and ways are closely understood and analyzed by the people through media and opposition parties. Factopedia. With 25 parts containing 448 articles and 12 schedules, the Indian Constitution is the longest written constitution of any sovereign country in the world. Elections. In India, all citizens have the age of 18 years irrespective of their caste, creed, religion, gender, are given the right to vote. This is called Universal Adult Franchisee. It is based on the concept of one man, one vote. In India, elections are held every 5 years. The Election Commission of India is responsible for conducting free and fair elections. It is a 3-member body headed by the Chief Election Commissioner and assisted by 2 election commissioners. All these 3 members are appointed by the President of India. Through elections, people participate and choose their representatives. Voting in elections is the best way to make your voice heard. The voters must be aware of the working of the candidates and cast their votes sensibly, as they expect their leaders to safeguard their interests, right and freedom. Elections require the people to be well educated about the candidates and to have the wisdom to choose the right person to run the country. Otherwise, this can have adverse effect on the country. Elections are fought on party basis. Almost all the candidates belong to one or the other party. There are some candidates who fight elections as independent candidates. The party which gets the majority of votes forms the government. If the government does not work for the welfare of the people, it can be changed in the next elections. Elections give the people the control over the government, as the representatives know that they can be voted out if they do not respect the wishes of the people and work for their welfare. Responsibilities of citizen in a democracy. In a democracy, a citizen must fulfill the following responsibilities. He should fulfill the duty to vote. He should understand the powers and duties of the government. He should be aware of his rights. He should be well aware of his representatives. He should be willing to pay taxes. He should obey the laws of the country. Time to recall. The Constitution is a set of rules that defines the goals, duties and rights of the people. The preamble describes India as a sovereign, socialist, secular and democratic republic. The Constitution of India assures some fundamental rights along with some fundamental duties for the citizens of India. Directive principles are the guidelines laid by the Constitution to be followed by the state government. In a democracy, a government is for the people, of the people and by the people. According to universal adult franchise, all citizens above the age of 18 can cast their vote. Elections helps people to control the government through their representatives. All the citizens must fulfill their responsibilities for the smooth functioning of the country. New words. Franchisee, right to vote in the elections. Constitution, set of rules for the functioning of the country. Preamble, introduction to the Constitution. Secular, freedom to follow any religion. Democracy, freedom to choose representatives to form the government. Fundamental rights, basic rights given to all the citizens by the Constitution. Directive principles, guidelines for the state laid down by the Constitution. Universal adult franchise, right to vote given to all citizens above the age of 18.